Good morning, guys from Brazil. How are you? Well done for getting your final essays of the sentence guide program in. These look fantastic. I do hope you've learned a lot from the course. I hope you are feeling a lot more confident about your exam. If you do still have more time before your exam, we do have, in the email it details, an extra set of corrections, another 8, if it's something you're interested in, covering some more advanced topics, some slightly different questions. Do get in touch if you'd like those. But first things first, let's do this, your final submission of this course. So, dear Sir, Madam, this is Thais Gonçalves. I would say my name is. A little bit more formal. When we say this is, that's usually referred to, that's reserved for phone conversations. So if I was to phone someone and say, hello, this is Andrew DeVille, I'm calling from, but in a letter, you say my name is. Hello, my name is, I am writing to. So, my name is Thais Gonçalves. I am writing in regard to a complaint I have about a previous experience on the 27th of January at the Florence restaurant. My friend and I did not have an enjoyable experience at our dinner table. I booked a table for 7 p.m. However, the venue was so crowded that we had to wait until 7:45 p.m. to be seated. We ordered 2 steak main courses, but instead we received the fish main option. Unfortunately, both of us have a seafood allergy, or seafood allergies. We had been informed by the waiter that the waiting time for the next steak would be 30 minutes at least. We could not wait any longer. So I wouldn't use this comma here. I'd say we simply could not wait any longer due to a theatre appointment or a theatre session or a play we were seeing that was beginning or starting at 9 p.m. We felt very disappointed because we left the restaurant famished. Good word. Besides that, we had to pay the bill in full. So punctuation is important. Besides that, we had to pay the bill in full. You have the opportunity to create 2 different sentences here. You could say, besides, blah, 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 or besides that, we had to do this. It takes on 2 very different meanings. I would like to suggest that the restaurant could be more aware, let's say more aware of their schedule in future so as not to overbook. I would like to suggest that the restaurant be more aware of their scheduling in future so as not to overbook. My ideal solution would be that my bill would be completely waived. Thank you for your consideration. No thanking. I am looking forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Thais Gonçalves. I would use, so here, I would say, thanks for your consideration, I am looking forward to hearing from you, full stop. Yours faithfully, Thais. Cool. So you have successfully managed to complain about your experience there. There's no problems with the complaint at all. I would just run through that and make the minor corrections. Pay attention to the corrections that I've given you, and essentially what we try to do here with this repetition is get you to notice the errors you're making. So it's really, really important that you go back over your work and you have a good look through, even if it's just so your brain can go, oh yeah, that's what I did. Cool. And then when you come to sit down in your exam, and when you come to proofread in your exam, you'll find it much, much easier to notice your own small errors. So here is your second answer, your task 2. Let's jump straight in. The issue of education, I would say the issue of the education revolution, or the issue of education is growing in importance, has grown in importance over the last few decades. We're referring to the past, the last few decades, so it cannot be growing now. Over the last few decades, has grown in importance. I firmly believe that changes have to be made as soon as possible. Cool. This essay, I would give a why there. You've got a good, the issue is education. Why? What's the issue? This essay will analyse this topic and use examples from the Finland Government Department and Stanford University to demonstrate and support arguments, I'd say. Demonstrate and indicate are essentially the same word in this meaning. Nowadays, there are constant discussions. This makes it an adjective. This adjective doesn't need the ly on the end. So we have, nowadays, there are constant discussions about future education. To apply new methods, so a new method or new methods, to apply new methods of learning is becoming an issue of increasing urgency. This is due to the fact that technology has developed the world greatly. I think maybe education cannot be left behind, or education must keep up. Creativity should be as important as literacy. So what I would do, I would take all this and condense it into a single sentence. So we've got, nowadays, there are constant discussions about the future of education. So what are we trying to communicate here? That because your point here is that essentially technology should be incorporated into modern education methods. So we need to find a way to introduce the idea of technology in education, to say that technology is a fundamental part of the world, and as such, education should incorporate it. So you've got your topic sentence, your main point, and then a study to show it up. So here we would want about the Finnish government showing that after 3 decades of education reform, maybe with something about what they actually did, and then the improvement demonstrated. So 64% of the children produced a larger number of ideas and improved their learning skills. Therefore, it is extremely necessary to observe the development of children and offer them possible solutions. Again, this is a general education point. What we're looking for yeah, so should the education system be reviewed and updated? So the main thing I'm noticing here is that you've got a lot of on-topic ideas, and actually you've not struggled to find the words to talk about them, but they need to be summarized concisely and then supported properly. So every single paragraph, what's the area I'm talking about? What's my point in that area? Why do I believe that? What does that mean? And each one only refers to a single idea. The area that idea is in, the idea itself, the idea's support, and the meaning of that idea. That's a paragraph. So just make sure we keep them, even though you've contained them, you need to make sure that that the words actually demonstrate the ideas clearly throughout the paragraph. Because there's a couple of instances here. Like here, look, consequently, alternative ways can bring benefits for the next generations. What alternative ways? And one tip. There's a couple of times when I can see that you've squeezed in a fancy word, which is great that you know the fancy words, but it's also not that important. It's much more important to be concise, to be accurate. Essentially, we're trying to be honest. You know, we want to be. We're not trying to persuade people overly. We're trying to get them to see our point. Yeah, so I'd say bring a bit more, something a bit more specific to the essay. What are the new methods? What are the old methods? what are the consequences, a little bit more specifically. But here you've used the acronym quite a lot better. That's the other one. Retrogress. So it's a great word. Retrogress, to return to an earlier state. Traditional methods cannot retrogress the education process. See, I'm not quite sure what that means, because retrogress is a great word, but are we trying to retrogress the education process? Do we want the education process to go back the way it was previously? So again, clarity. Let's make things clearer. Keep things a little bit simpler, and I think you'll be very, very successful indeed. Your writing has acquired a quality that is impressive, but it just needs to be that little bit smoother and that little bit more focused. But yeah, you have come a long way. Well done for completing the course. It's a great achievement. The best of luck in your exam, but if you do feel like you need any more help, do get in touch. We'll be happy to provide an extra corrections pack for you. Thanks again, guys, and have a wonderful day.